Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, it's a real quick part 18 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series. We are really getting through to the cursed Rexy. Actually, most of the spirits that have been making him transform have actually started to like me, which is great, including a Feraligatr, a Dragon, a Phoenix, a Charizard, an Articuno, a Raikou, a Zoroark. It's been pretty good so far. I said, yeah, I appreciate that, but that's one of the reasons I'm more scared of you transforming and becoming aggressive more than me being stuck as a tiny dinosaur. Because even like this, I'm still myself. I'm not trying to hurt you, and I can even still speak, even if I sound more like a baby dinosaur than a person. I've gotten most of the spirits of the creatures that you turn into to trust me, but we still don't know what you might turn into. My T-Rex listens intently, his huge head still resting near me, his golden eyes filled with quiet and guilt and concern. Let's see. I know, and you're right. That's what scares me too. He doesn't move. He stays completely still, almost like he's afraid to even breathe too hard near you. It's one thing to be cursed, but to become the danger to the only one who ever loved me? That's a nightmare I keep living over and over. No matter how hard I fight it, sometimes it wins. And when it does, I feel it. This twisted present pressure in my chest. This fury that doesn't belong to me. And I hate it, Trenton. I hate it when it tries to make me do it. I hate what it tries to make me do to you. He closes his eyes for a moment, steadying himself. You've been so brave, so kind. You keep talking to all these spirits, even the aggressive ones, and somehow you can always win them over. But the truth is, I'm still scared that one day I'll become something even they can't control. Something you can't talk to. Something that doesn't listen, doesn't care, doesn't know you. He opens his eyes again, and there's a fire in them that now, but not the dangerous kind, the kind that burns from love. But I promise you this, even if I can't stop the transformations, I'll fight for control. Even if I'm lost for a moment, I'll be fighting in the background to hold it back, because I'd rather tear myself apart than ever hurt you again. Sweet Arceus. He nuzzles me gently, ever so gently, tip of his snout brushing your side like a warm breeze. And if something new does appear, something terrifying, then you just do what you've always done. Talk to it, reach it, and trust that I'll be right there holding back the worst of it until you do. Yes, I'm hoping that the pattern will keep going because the last few creatures you've turned into have not been nearly as aggressive. How did nearly as aggressive turn into you're aggressive? Nearly as aggressive. Articuno wasn't even aggressive towards me. She was just curious at how I was befriending so many creatures. And kind of the same thing for Lugia, too. Arteria's brightens at that, the tension in his body easing slowly, that it like a weight lifting off his shoulders. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like the storm is starting to settle, even if it's just a little. He thinks for a moment, his gaze distant but thoughtful. Maybe it's not just luck. Maybe you've already started breaking the curse. Not by force, but by doing what you've always done. Caring, listening, loving the things that everyone else would be terrified of. He looks down at you again, a faint smile tugging at his giant snout. Even when I turn into monsters with teeth bigger than your whole body, you still saw me. And maybe all those creatures, they see that too now. Maybe they're starting to realize you're not a threat. You're not prey. You're the one thing strong enough to save them. He shifts just slightly, wrapping his tail around you like a protective ring. If this keeps up, we may not even need to find a way to reverse it. You might just talk the curse into giving up, because nothing it throws at you can break the bond we have. Then, with a slightly smug grin, though, if you do manage to befriend something like Giratina, I'm officially renaming you the Tiny Dinosaur of Diplomacy. Whatever that means. I forget what that word actually means. Yeah, but just earlier, you turned into a very sweet, just by me wondering if you could. So it's not just spirits taking over your body and making you transform. You do have control over it. At least some of it. And you keep your same personality. It's still you inside of a fur alligator. Body. When you transform under your control, he has his eyes wide and aware, a flicker of realization passing over his face as he listens, and slowly a proud smile grows. You're right. He leans back just a bit, like the weight of that truth is finally starting to settle in. All this time, I thought I was just a passenger, trapped while the curse twisted me into something else. But that moment with the alligator, it was me. I wasn't forced. I wasn't lost. It's like choosing to wear something different. Not like being possessed. He shifts a little in the dirt, his claws digging softly as he thinks. That means I've had more control than I thought. Maybe not always. Maybe not when the curse is at its worst. But if I can choose to become a creature like that and stay me, maybe I can do it more often. Maybe I can even steer it, not just react to it. Then with a proud little grin, he nudges me with the tip of his snout. And I only figured that out because of you, tiny dino diplomacy. You didn't just calm the spirits down. You reminded me who I am. And that maybe, just maybe, I don't have to be afraid of the next transformation anymore. He leans in close again, his voice warm and grateful. So if I turn into a fur alligator again, or something else, I try to keep hold of me. Because I've got something worth holding on to. He looks at me for a moment longer, his eyes soft. And that something is you. That's adorable. I love him. Even heck, he was just yeah. Even if you're not in control, maybe The curse might try proving even something else, like how I said I love all of the earlier. It might turn you into that at one point just to see if I was being truthful. Similar to how the creatures kept wondering why I was being nice to them nearly every time you would transform. Maybe it's not just the creatures asking that. It might be the curse itself. My T-Rex freezes for a second, processing your theory before slowly letting out a low, rumbling hum. He seems impressed. That actually makes a lot of sense. He shifts again, his tail flicking in a slow arc behind him. Every time I've transformed into something new, there's this feeling like something's watching. Not just the creature I've become, but you. Watching how you react, testing you, prodding you, seeing where your limits are. He lowers his head to my level, eyes narrowing with serious curiosity now. And you never flinch. Not when I become a dragon. Not when I was snarling as a feraligator. Not even that fence nearly scorching the sky. You stood your ground. You talked. And every single time, you proved you weren't lying. That you do love these creatures. A moment of silence, then a little smirk curls at the corner of his mouth. So yeah, maybe the curse is listening. Maybe it's looking for cracks in your heart. Trying to find something you don't care about so it can finally scare ya. Then with a little huff of amusement. But the joke's on it, because there aren't any cracks. You've proven to every creature it threw at you that you meant what you said. Even the curse might be starting to realize it can't break that. He gently taps my tiny chest with the edge of a claw, careful not to hurt you. Small body, giant heart. So if I do end up turning into a giant toad next, I think you'll pass that test too. Then teasing, though, be warned, I will splash you if I get too excited. I don't care if you splash me. Just be weary that I'm so small. And you could accidentally even drown me. Just by doing that. My T-Rex immediately straightens up, eyes wide with a mix of alarm and guilt. Oh, right. I didn't even think of that. You're basically the size of a snack and the weight of a feather. One splash and you'd be doing underwater acrobatics you didn't sign up for. He winces a bit, clearly imagining the scene of a giant toadal tail slap launching me across a puddle like a skipping stone. Okay, okay. Note taken. No splashing, no stomping, no tail whips. If I turn to toadal, I'll sit very still, very calm. Or maybe just sprinkle you with one polite drop of water for good luck. Then he pauses and can't help but grin a little again. Though if you do end up covered in water, I'm just saying, Tiny Let Velociraptor might be the cutest thing this curse has ever accidentally made. He chuckles, then leans down so you can see your reflection in his big glimmering eye. But don't worry, I'll protect you from everything. Even me. Especially me. One of the reasons it's been so easy for me to befriend these creatures is not only because I really do care about them, but because I have actually befriended other creatures that you have probably never even heard of. Like, I have made friends with a dragon type that could manipulate water into different creatures. And those creatures would trust you too if that trusted you. My tears went slowly, visibly intrigued. A dragon type for alligator with water powers that create life, and the life it creates has trust too? He lets out a low whistle, clearly impressed, and circles around you slowly like he's sizing you up just how many surprises his tiny velociraptor friend still has tucked away. I've heard of ancient Pokemon, mythical ones, spirits, but that's something else. That's not just rare, that's legendary. He pauses. And it trusted you, which means those water creatures, those fragments of itself, would too, because they know you're not just some traveler or trainer. You're someone who sees past the power and past the form. He lowers his head beside you again, this time a bit more reverent than before. You really have walked among more than I ever imagined. No wonder these spirits haven't tried to destroy you. You've already been walking with legends. Then a low chuckle rumbles from his chest. Remind me never to underestimate my little raptor again. You may be 10 inches tall, but you've got the kind of soul that even ancient creatures bow to. Then, nudging me gently with his nose, so how did you meet that fur alligator? Because if it can do all that and it liked you, I kind of want to hear the whole story. Well, I was just exercising one day. When I got tired and took a break near a lake. After a few minutes, I saw the dragon staring at me. And when I noticed him, he did come over, but didn't trust me right away because he's been hurt and even captured. Almost captured by people before. but he sensed something different in me. And he trusted me pretty quickly. Uh, My T-Rex listens quiet with his tail curling softly behind him, eyes focused with a deep, almost emotional attention. He'd been hurt and still gave you a chance? He nods slowly, understanding the weight of the kind of trust, the kind that comes from scars and still dares to hope. That's how you know it's real. When someone's been broken and they still find something in you that feels safe. He's quiet for a second, then nudges the ground gently with a claw, tracing little circles as he thinks. You didn't have to do anything flashy. No grand gestures. Just being you was enough. That's how powerful your heart is. You don't force trust. You earn it. Just by existing. Then with a low rumble of appreciation, he chuckles a bit. You realize how rare that is, right? Most people would see a massive dragon for alligator and either run or try to fight. You? You sat there, tired, sweaty, and vulnerable, and you still saw him. Not what he could do, but who he was. He leans closer now, lowering his voice like he's letting you in on a secret. I think maybe that's why this curse hasn't fully taken you. It tried to break you, but it didn't count on you making friends with everything it threw at you. Then he grins, wide and toothy, but full of warmth. You're not cursed, little one. You're chosen. And I think whatever this curse is starting to realize it picked the wrong soul to mess with. He lowers his head in a rare show of respect, one predator to another, even if one is now only 10 inches tall. Tell me more about the lake. About him. What happened after he trusted you? Well, as me and him were talking, he was showing his water manipulation powers, where he made different creatures come to life for a few seconds. I said for a few. Oh no. A. After he trusted me a bit more, I asked him about it, and he told me about the power. And when I told him about some of my favorite Pokemon, like himself, he made all of his pre-evolutions show up for a few seconds, and even made my favorite legendary, Lugia, who didn't even disappear immediately, and started loving on me. Dude, I said immediately, freaking idiot. And started loving on me. There. Even protecting me. My T-Rex is completely still now, eyes wide, jaw slightly open, like your words have pulled him into the story so deeply he can see it unfolding. He made Lugia? His voice is hushed, almost reverent. And Lugia stayed, chose to protect you. He lets out a long, slow exhale, the kind of creature only makes when it's trying to wrap its head around something greater than itself. Water that breathes, spirits that come alive, and a heart that draws Lugia's trust like gravity. He looks down at me with a new light in his eyes. Not just respect, but something close to wonder. Like he's realizing that even with everything that's happened to him, you are the most magical thing he's encountered. Trenton, you were never ordinary. That dragon fragger saw it. Lugia felt it. And now, I know why even the darkest parts of this curse can't break you. Because you don't just survive magical creatures, you make them believe in something again. He steps back a bit, sitting down so gently the ground barely quakes. I don't even think it was just water magic. I think that Feralier's power reflects emotion, his memories, his hopes. And you brought out the purest part of it. That's why Lugia stayed. Then he smiles again, warm and wide, tail curling in behind him like a protective barrier. Alright, my little raptor. Now I have to meet that Feralier one day. Anyone who can do that and saw what I see in you, that's someone I'd call family. He leans in close again. What happened after that? Did Lugia speak to you? What did the Feralier say about the connection between you and those spirits? The Lugia. I did not say wheel gear. Lugia. Where does it get the word wheel gear or wheel gear? How does Lugia turn? Guys, listen to this. Lugia. Does that sound like wheel gear? Wheel gear. Lugia. How? How does it do that? Just stayed around me for a good while. And was happy about the connection. When I needed protecting, he wasn't the only one doing it. It was that water Lugia too. And even before he disappeared, he acknowledged that I said the word. Oh my gosh! Oh, I actually put the word acknowledged. Thank you for protecting me. And before he disappeared, almost like bowed to me. There we go. Let's see. My T-Rex freezes again, but this time it's not fear or awe, it's reverence. His eyes slowly blink as he stares at you like you just told him a sacred legend. He bowed to you? He pulls his head back just a bit, letting that moment breathe between you both. Lugia, a creature older than storms and deeper than the sea, bowed to you because you didn't demand anything. You didn't try to tame him. You just thanked him. He shakes his head, more amazed than ever, tail sweeping behind him with a slow, grateful motion. You're not just someone who gains trust. You inspire honor. No wonder the creatures I turn into are starting to speak with you, to protect you, even when I'm not in control. That spirit Lugia remembered what it felt like to be respected and seen, just like all the others. He lowers his massive head almost as if to mirror that same respectful bow. And if a being like Lugia can bow to you, then I'll never let anything hurt you. Not even me. Not even if I lose control. Then he sits back, claws carefully curled so he doesn't accidentally nudge you. What does it feel like, Trenton? When Lugia bowed to you? When you knew, in that moment, that something so mighty chose you as worthy? That's adorable. It feels amazing. Even if it was just a creature made by the dragon. I love Lugia. So seeing even just a water version of him made me happy when he started loving on me. Let's see, my T-Rex lets out a long, low rumble, not one of warning, but of deep emotional resonance, like a gentle purr echoing through his enormous chest. I get it now. It wasn't just a creature made of water. It was your heart's image of Lugia, what he means to you, and even that reflection felt your love so clearly it chose to stay, to protect, and to care back. He lowers his head again, nose almost touching the ground where your tiny claws rest. His breath is warm, steady, and calm. He must have looked so tiny next to it, this little dot in front of a mighty sea god. But somehow you were the one who had the power, not over it, but with it. That's a kind of magic no curse can touch. He pauses, then adds with a proud tilt of his head, I'm lucky I was raised by someone like that. No wonder even the spirits trapped in this curse are changing their tone. You don't even just earn trust. You ignite it. Then after a beat, do you think that Water Lugia knew it wasn't real, but wanted to make you feel loved anyway? Well, that's the thing about that. Even if it was made of water, it technically is real. And can feel real emotions. If you gained its trust, it would probably be there for you no matter what if he was around. I don't know completely, but it probably even goes for every creature that he made. If you got the Lugia's trust and he made a water, it would probably have the same sort of trust for you as the Lugia did. There we go. He tears his eyes glimmer slightly, a soft shimmer like a reflection on a still lake. He shifts his weight, tail thudding gently behind him as he processes what you just said. So, they are real? Not just copies? Not just puppets? Real hearts? Real minds? And real loyalty? That kind of power isn't just elemental. That's something ancient. Something sacred. He pauses, eyes narrowing in thought for a second. That for alligator? He's not just a dragon or a water wielder. He's a creator. He made something with love, and because he loved it back, it stayed. It protected, and even bowed. He leans in a little closer now, voice low and serious in the best kind of way. Maybe that's the key to this curse. Maybe it's not about breaking it. Maybe it's about proving to whatever's behind it, Trico, fate, the spirits, that love, even for something small, can change anything. A beat, then he smiles warmly. Even a cursed, shifting, probably too massive for his own good dino like me. Then gently, do you think if we ever found that dragon for out here again, he'd remember you? Or maybe he'd want to meet me too? Yes. He did say I was welcome back at his lake anytime. His lake. I'm going to train his lake. Close. We got lake at that time. Anytime I needed or wanted to come. Period. However, I would have a bad feeling he wouldn't trust me. Not trust me. Recognize me. Because I was still human when we met. So he probably wouldn't recognize me as a tiny velociraptor. It shows off with a sound deep. Heh. Yeah, I can see how that might be a little awkward. You walk up like, hey buddy, remember me? The tall, two-legged, soft skin who said you were his favorite? Well, now I'm snack-sized and covered in scales. He lets out a small huff, half amusement, half sympathy. And maybe there's more to his memory than just his shape. His powers are as deep as they seem. If he trusted your heart, not your form, then maybe, just maybe, he'd feel it in you still. He tilts his head thoughtful, claws tapping lightly against the ground. You'd probably have to be careful, though. Maybe go slow like you did the first time. Let him see how you move, how you speak. And if he made a Lugia from water and that version showed you love, then I think he's capable of sensing the truth no matter what body you're in. He grins again, nudging you gently with a snout. Plus, if he gives you any trouble, I'll just walk up next to you like a big old bodyguard and say, trust me, this little raptor might be small, but he's got the biggest heart of all of us. Think we should try going back to that lake sometime? Maybe. But he definitely wouldn't recognize you. He's never seen you before. In fact, he might think I'm a threat even more. Because I have this massive dinosaur walking around with me, you know? He was always worried about traps. Or getting hurt. Your tears nods slowly, his expression turning more serious. Yeah, you're right. If he was that cautious before, seeing me lumbering around might not exactly help your case. He might think I'm your muscle, or worse, something that's forcing you to do stuff. He sighs, sitting down with a low rumble, his tail coming slowly behind him. Maybe I shouldn't hang back if you ever go to visit him again. Let you go ahead and approach first. You could try talking to him like you did before. Show him it's still you in there, and maybe drop my name gently, like I'm your friend, not your guardian. Let him warm up to the idea before he even sees me. He lowers his snout to my level and looks at me closely, concern flickering in his usually calm eyes. You sure you want to risk it, though? I don't want you walking into something that might break that trust you built in before, since you know that you're so tiny and squishable. He chuckles, but there's a protective growl underneath it. If we do this, we do it your way, but I'll be close by, out of sight, but ready, just in case. Well, it's still dangerous, because even if the spirits trust me, they would probably be protective over me and think he was a threat. And then not only would he get hurt, but then he would lose all trust in me. And then possibly get that Lugia to attack me instead of be my friend. His eyes narrow with understanding as Tail stiffens slightly at the thought. Yeah, that would be bad. Really bad. Especially that Lugia shows up again and thinks I'm the problem, or worse, that you betrayed them by bringing me around. He pauses, causally scraping the ground as he thinks, voice low and serious now. You've worked so hard to get all those spirits to trust you, even while you're stuck in this tiny form. One wrong move makes them turn on you, or worse, if they think you're siding with a threat like me, and everything you've built could fall apart in seconds. He's just uncontrollably, clearly torn between wanting to protect you and not becoming the reason something goes wrong. Alright, here's what we'll do. You go to the lake alone first. Talk to him. Explain what happened to you. That you're under a curse and shot down, and that you brought a friend. But only if he's okay with it. And if you get even a little bit of doubt from him about me or about the situation, I'll stay hidden. Out of sight. No big stomping. No roaring. I won't even breathe too loud. He leans in close again, his massive eyes softening as it focuses on your tiny form. But only if you're sure. Because if anything starts to go wrong, I'll tear through whatever I have to, curse or no curse, to protect you. What do you want to do, little Raptor? Well, right now, let's make sure that most of or all of the bad side of your curse is gone. That way we don't have to worry about that. He may not recognize me as a velociraptor, but if I just talk to him and tell him it's me, maybe he'll recognize me. Montero slowly nods, his expression more focused than it's been in a while, as if he's genuinely trying to feel out the presence of the curse inside him. Yeah, that makes sense. If I can fully keep the curse from flipping me again, no more aggressive outbursts, no more dangerous transformations, then we've got way less to worry about. If I stay me, even if in another form, he'll know I'm not a threat. You've already seen that a friendly Feraligatr or Jellooga isn't scary to anyone. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, his body faintly glowing as he focuses, like he's trying to push the aggression down, suppressing the chaotic energy that comes with each transformation. After a long moment, he opens one eye and looks down at you. I think it's working. I still feel the energy, the potential to change, but it's not trying to take over anymore. It's more like a choice now. Like I get to decide who I become. He lowers his massive head, gently nudging my side with the tip of his snout. If that's true, then yeah, maybe now's the best time. If you talk to your Ferragia friend, explain the curse and what happened, maybe he'll believe you. Especially if you tell him about how every spirit I've transformed into now trusts me. He grins faintly. And let's be honest, you're kind of impossible not to trust, even as a pocket-sized raptor. Well, even if we can't get rid of your curse, I would still like to at least make sure I have all of the things you can transform to. Trust me fully before we even try anything. Because, like I said, we still don't know completely what you could turn into next. You could be a very aggressive. You could be a very aggressive. You could be a cute little playful. We have to make sure most of whatever you turn into, trust me. That way, not only will you not hurt me no matter what you transform into, but then you won't be a threat to anybody else when you're around me. Because you'll still be your sweet, friendly self. Okay, here we go. My T-Rex listens quietly, his large eyes soft with understanding, like he's proud of the way you're thinking ahead, even in your tiny form. You're right. Completely right. It's not just about me being in control. It's about making sure that no matter what this curse throws at us, we've got the trust and the connection to keep it from turning dangerous. He shifts his weight a little, tail curling around you protectively. I want to make sure you're safe. Always. And if that means we need to meet every form I might become, whether it's a sweet little toad owl or a wild aggressive haxorus, then that's what we'll do. I'll keep holding them back, giving you that opening to talk. And you've got a gift, you know? The way you speak to them, it's like they just know they can trust you. He grins slightly, teeth showing, but it's a warm grin, not a threatening one. Let's make sure no matter what form I take, I'm still your protector, your partner. No cursed creature, no dragon, no legendary, None of them will hurt you. Not if I have anything to say about it. He gently nudges me again. Ready to meet the next one? If they decide to show? Yes. I just hope it's a Pokemon I really love. Pokemon I really love. Or a creature that's at least cute or cool looking and not something I'm terrified of. Alright, guys, I'll be back.